May the council approach dais?
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Good evening, judges of the Model High Court of Assam. My name is Mehnur Alanwar, Counsel for Respondent, Sri Swapnade, and I will be presenting with my co-counsel, Palak Giroti. Today we will be addressing three relevant points. The mental instability of the petitioner, Sonali Paulde, matters related to cruelty and desertion, and whether the respondent is required to pay money to the petitioner. Now my co-counsel member, Palak Giroti, shall present facts which are of interest to the case.
Good evening, judges. I am Palak from the Respondents' Council and would like to seek permission to go ahead with the statement of facts.
Proceed.
The petitioner's marriage with the respondent was solemnized on 8th December 2003 as per Hindu rites and custom at Tezpur. The petitioner stayed only for 25 days in her matrimonial house, and since 25th February 2004, she has been residing in her parents' house at Tezpur. It has been further stated from 14th December 2003 to 16th December 2003, both the petitioner and the respondent were at Tezpur in the house of the parents of respondent for Atmangala. The petitioner stated that after the celebration of the ritual of Atmangala at Tezpur, the respondent returned to Balipara with the petitioner on 16th December 2003. After her treatment, the petitioner continued to stay in her parents' house at Tezpur. Plaintiff's witness 2 stated that on 12th May 2004, she, along with the respondent, had gone to the house of the petitioner to bring her back. The petitioner and the respondent have been apart since 25th February 2004.
I would like to seek permission to proceed with the arguments.
Proceed.
Under Section 13, Clause 1, Subclause A and Subclause B, the respondent is entitled to file for divorce. Respondent and multiple witnesses have confirmed that the petitioner inflicted cruelty upon the respondent. Petitioner even deserted the respondent for more than 2 years and ignored the respondent's attempts to bring her back. Plaintiff's witness 2 stated that on 12th May 2004, she along with the petitioner had gone to the house of the respondent to bring her back, but the petitioner refused to come. The respondent has stated that he has been treated with cruelty at the hands of the petitioner and deserted by the petitioner on 25th February 2004. Since then, the respondent has declined to stay with the petitioner, thereby ruining their matrimonial life. It is also confirmed by the court that the petitioner deserted the respondent. It is confirmed under the district court that the respondent was inflicted cruelty upon by the petitioner.
Respondents can appeal for a void marriage as stated in Section 13, Subclause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act. The petitioner has exhibited symptoms of mental illness on many occasions. The respondent stated that the petitioner had pricked herself with a safety pin on an occasion. This is confirmed by plaintiff's witness 3. The petitioner has inflicted cruelty upon by the respondent. The plaintiff's witness 2, Neeru Dutta, testified that the petitioner inflicted cruelty upon the respondent by her abnormal behavior and not getting inclined to reside in her matrimonial house. It is possible for the petitioner's family to hide the fact that the petitioner is mentally ill so that she could find a suitor for a marriage. This explains why the respondent did not submit any documents about her mental illness before the marriage. The petitioner alleged that the respondent consumed sleeping tablets and behaved abnormally. It is possible that the petitioner attempted suicide by taking the sleeping tablets since she does not have to have seen any sort of prescription. The pin pricking can be accounted under self-harm. This further proves that the petitioner is mentally unstable.
The respondent should not pay an amount of Rs 2 lakh to the petitioner.
Can you please describe section?
Section? Excuse me.
I think he's saying that. Can you please brief us about Section 13? What you have stated, Section 13, Subclause 1, Subclause A.
On Section 13, Subclause 1, it's about mental illness. No, I think it's about cruelty.
Section 13, Subclause 1.
Section 13, Subclause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act states that if anyone is mentally after the solemnization of the marriage had voluntary sexual intercourse with any person of his or other spouse.
You are somewhat right, somewhat wrong. It is about cohabitation and not what you have written, solemnization of marriage. No. It is not solemnization of marriage. It is cohabitation of something. I think so. Okay, no. Carry on.
The respondent should not pay an amount of Rs 2 lakh to the petitioner since the respondent will not be able to handle such a big financial amount. Either the amount to be paid should decrease to suit the respondent's financial status, or he should not pay such huge amount to the petitioner. The marriage collapsed because of the petitioner's mental instability and dissociation. The respondent repeatedly showed interest to live with the petitioner and improve their relationship, but the petitioner did not show any interest in doing so. The petitioner did not have any children, so the money can be paid under child support. There seems to be no document or evidence stating that the food in shock was owned either by the respondent or his brother. So, he can show if the income is sufficient or not. Hence, it is not proof the respondent is financially stable.
It is now impossible to reconcile the marriage between the petitioner and the respondent since both of them harbor the resentment towards each other. The marriage was also void at the beginning since the petitioner did not give any consent to the marriage. The petitioner is mentally ill and inflicted cruelty upon by the respondent. Both parties have been living apart for more than 2 years. Hence, they should be divorced since both the petitioner and the respondent are not comfortable with living with each other.
Okay, so you are done with your arguments?
Yes, sir.
Anything more you have to state?
Oh. No.
No, okay. So can you just brief me what you are seeking from the court?
Wherefore, in the light of facts stated, issues raised, authority cited, and pleadings advanced, it is most humbly prayed before the Honourable Court that it may be graciously plead to kindly provide the relief of divorce between both the parties of the marriage, dismiss the amount that the respondent has to pay to the petitioner or reduce it to a sashable amount, arrange for the petitioner to get proper mental assistance and counseling to get rehabilitated before a condition gets detrimental and is even more damaging, and pass any other order that it deems to fit in the interest of justice, equality, good conscience, all of which is respectfully submitted by the respondent's counsel.
Okay, so I think petitioner have stated that your client has not paid the amount which the lower court have sanctioned.
Yes, sir.
Only two or three installments have been paid by your client and not more than that. What
Yeah.
are you going to say upon that?
But then, according to the respondent's counsel, the petitioner should not pay that amount because it was not because of him the marriage was not possible, because of the respondent, it's because of the petitioner.
The Hindu Marriage Act. Actually, we have referred, for this one, we have referred the Indian Qanun while we were referring the case. For this one, where the actual descriptions of what was written in the Constitution was actually copy-pasted in that Indian Qanun. So, that's what we have mentioned in here. So, we did not get a proper explanation of that.
You have mentioned section 13(1)(a).
Yeah, clause, clause 1.
13(1)(3).
So, we have mentioned clause 1.
Okay.
So, see, instead of visiting, sorry, Isang, so you want to say something?
No, sir. I can.
Instead of visiting, directly these websites and figuring out, sections and all, we will suggest you to just download Bear Act. It will help you. You can directly find out which section, what is given, all these things. So Bear Act can help you a lot. But for detailed discussion, our judges, we are always available for explanation. Okay. So whenever you have to, verify something from particular act, just go and in short you will get in Bear Act. And if it is related to IPC, so directly you can search at that time IPC which section on what. If it is related to Indian Constitution, so articles are given there. And even after that, like if you do have any confusion, our judges are available, or you can write in group, or directly you can approach us. So of course we will answer you. And I guess like for second round, you should not come up with these confusions. So that's why now still you are having opportunity to ask questions. We all are here. Our judges can help you all, for these things.
Sir, can you explain what is meant by rebuttal?
Rebuttal is just arguing another time. Once your time is over, you cannot argue. Okay, any other question?
I'll request both the judges to give them feedback for today's session and what sort of improvement they should do for their final round, because we don't have any option, with the second team. So of course we are going to promote them for second round, but I'll request both the judges to give them feedback so that they'll have better preparation.
See, you have researched very well. I appreciate your research work. You have quoted sections and you have very well quoted the facts also. Some people have quoted their facts which they have assumed, but you haven't assumed something. You quoted the facts as it is, and you argued very well. Nothing to say. Prepare well for the second round, and I think you will do well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Isang sir, would you like to give feedback to them?
Yeah, I am very well agreed with the Rupa sir, and just like to say one thing, that when you are researching something, don't get, if you are not getting something, if you are facing any difficulties, do discuss with us. Gopal sir is here, Rohan sir is here. Do not hesitate, and best of luck for the second round.
Thank you so much, sir, and all the best, team. We'll let you know when you'll have your second round. We are going to start it from August 1st of August.